Desire of the beat.
Tribute to Common Peace and Marshall Mars Wartime. This is the Book of Zechariah, chapters 4, 6, and 9, part 1. Let us begin. The Book of Zechariah by Zane Kochfe Lechet Nupu, Uyuu Tarkinu Unu Nupu, Black 7 Moving Planet Orbs, Noon Ethiopian year 60, Nupu Embryo year 96, 12/22/2022, verses 1 through 7. And the angel that talked with me came again and waked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said unto me, What seest thou? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps which are upon the top thereof, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof. So I answered and spake to the angel that talked with me, saying, What are these, my Lord? Then the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, Knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my Lord. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by my might nor by power, but my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Who art thou, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel thou shalt become a plain, and he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shouting, crying, Grace, grace unto it. Explanations. This was answered in the book Nupu's Revelation Interpretation, chapter 1, verse 10 through 14. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, and what thou seest write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, unto Smyrna, unto Pergamos, unto Thyatira, unto Sardis, unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. Explanation. The Lord's Day was February 5th, 1962, AD, grand conjunction of the sun and the other orbs. This day was when Nupu and Sanrariza announced themselves to Afro Unu mentally. The 7 churches were the 7 orbs that aligned in that day. Here's the religious version converted over to actual reality. Alright, so we have the 7 candlesticks. I had Queen Ra Upu take these candlesticks and put them upside down, and then these are the 7 orbs. Over here you have Mars, Saturn, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter, right? And I had to put them upside down because on the when you take it into astrology, on February 5th, 1962, this is where all of the planets were at. So this is why the candlestick was inverted, so you can see that it's 7 of these orbs, and these are the candlesticks. Just go back to the old videos I did dealing with Revelation and the book of Daniel and stuff like that. Nebuchadnezzar dream, all this stuff is a constant theme in the Bible. February 5th, 1962, Aquarius stellium falsely called churches. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. Explanation. The 7 orbs are Marsha Mars, 2 Saturn Saturn, 3 Ripu the Sun, 4 Sipu the Moon, 5 Mary Mercury, 6 Venom, which is Venus, and 7 Jupiter Jupiter. The reason we, the Eniac, the Pasejet, will call candlesticks is in reference to our inner cores are burning with heat. So once again, you look at the candlesticks. This is how Zupu operates with the deception. All right, so we're looking at the light, the flame on the menorah that are used in Judaism. This is the true meaning of the menorah. All right. So as you can see, planets and moons all have cores inside of them where there's heat. Okay, so the 7 orbs are the ones that we're talking about. So if you was to take away the outer covering and leave and focus on the inner cores of these orbs, there are heat, and just place some candlesticks underneath them, that's all that was. Okay? There's nothing deep about that. Moving forward. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. Explanation: the one sitting in the midst of the golden candlesticks, the 7 planets, is our sun. His head and his hairs were like white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Explanation: first, my Ripu the sun, hair on my Ripu the sun's surface is black, not white. All right, so here is 2 drawings out of the nature books that Afro Unu put. To the left, you have a whole male sun, top view, with male ether outlet and covered with solar oil. So imagine the sun, all right, and then imagine you looking downward at the sun, and this is how the sun has ether, and it has hair. This is woolly hair amongst the sun. Again, go back and look at the other videos that I've did on the Revelation. I've authored 2 books called Our Hair 1 and 2 that you can find under my name on lulu.com that goes into the scientific proof and evidence that they discovered that the stars have hair. Okay, now on the right, and I'm bringing this back forward because I didn't go into this last time, and also go into it that Jupiter and Saturn and other gas giants like these, although they're not a true star, they're still suns. The female suns also have kinky hair. So this is being brought back as well. All right, because I didn't go into that deeper when I did the books of Jutar. I think maybe 5, 6, and 7, where I spoke about Jupiter and Saturn being alive, but I didn't go into the fact that they have kinky hair too. So this is here a whole female sun, top view, looking down with a female ether outlet and covered with solenoid. So we're talking about this here. All this is surrounding the suns. All right, for the females, gas giants in mundane science. Okay, that's how they try to hide that planets, or they call them planets, like gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn. They are suns as well, but they call them gas giants because they don't want you to understand. They look at the fact that why do we have 3 suns in our solar system or more in other solar systems, and they try to play it off and downgrade them to planets, and they're not planets. Okay, in the sense of how they're making it sound, where beings live on it, like physical beings. They have ether beings that live in the sun, but they do things outside of itself on different planets. All right, in the Nambal, they're called plants because they grow like plants, but planet, as is how they making it sound, meaning that they have beings living on the surface and all that. No. All right, so let's go on to solenoid. Solenoid is a core of wire, usually in a cylindrical form, that when carrying a current acts like a magnet, so that a movable core is drawn into the coil when a current flows, and that is used especially as a switch or control for a mechanical device such as a valve. All right, so our hair are kinky in its cord, and it's called a solenoid because it does carry currents from within us and coming to receive transmissions from the sun, Jupiter, Saturn, matter of fact, all the planets as well, because we have the original hair from creation. That's what's left over from original creation. That's one of the reasons why they hate us and make us go against our hair. And when you cut your hair and do damage to it, you can't pick up the higher frequencies, because Nupu works through these suns, and these suns have kinky, solenoid, flocculi, or hair in mundane terms, that the black African race has. And so when you're cutting it, all you're doing is slowing down the way Nupu connects through our hair into our brain. So that's why our reasonability is slow to raise. And there's another reason why Bill Gates and all of them was trying to and have been putting sunlight blockers into the atmosphere, chemtrails. It ain't just the chemtrails poison you, but also it helps block the sun. And they don't want the African kinky hair race to pick up on what's going on outside in the universe. All right, listen to the reason. Shapes 20 and 21 shown on this page depict a whole male and whole female star covered with kinky hair solenoids that help them build up and maintain the sun's magnetic fields, and also help the suns detect what is going on around them, much like antennas and radars do on planet Mother Earth. This is granulation. Solenoids on the sun's surface, also called flocculi, tufts of wool, is the hair of the suns. Like the vegetation on Mother Earth is her hair, and sign of life, calm, and peace. Shape 20 and 21 likewise show the top view of the suns. All right, of the male in this picture envisions the whole of the ejaculated organ, which jets male ether far out into the magnetic field of the sun and gas field of the universe. And this is called the heliosphere. I think in mundane science that it reaches all around the particular solar system that we had. I think it's called a heliosphere, if I'm not mistaken. All right. In the center of the female sun views the vaginal organ, which gushes out and flows female ether unto the Nine Lake, which has no venery branches like Lake Victoria in Africa has a vital branch called the Nile River on Mother Goddess Earth. But whereas the water of Lake Victoria flows by way of the Nile River to the Mediterranean Sea, the female ether of Lake Nile on the female sun flows and evaporates into magnetic field and gas field surrounding the female star. Of course, all natural ether in top half of the smack circle of order is nine ether, the powers of Nupu, the creator of the universe of unique almighty nature. Let it be remembered, always let it be known. And Tarbunu Net had a video where she showed how the suns do have oceans of ether inside themselves. Okay? Introduction to the Nature of Nature, Book 1, pages 45 through 46. It is also a fact that our sun has hair called granulation by mundane scientists. The same thing that the Ethiopian black race has is also called flocculi, the scientific name for hair. Alright, so here we have a picture that was took June 4th, 1946, called Solar Prominence. The hair of the Ethiopian black race also can be called granulation, and you can see the same rope similarity. So these are ropes of hair that are on the sun. All right, here's it in color, and notice in the black African hair has also these same rope features, because it's heat that's inside of us that are cooking and making the coils kink up. This is where our kinky hair comes from. That's why it's called kinky, because it kinks up. You know, it knots up, it rolls up, it tightens up. You understand? Refer to our hair books 1 and 2 on Lulu.com. Search Tarkino Nupu. Alright, these are the two books I was mentioning earlier. Alright, let's skip to verses 11 through 14, the two olive trees. Then answered I and said unto him, what are these two olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick, and upon the left side thereof? And I answered again and said unto him, what be these two olive branches which through the two golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves? And he answered me and said, knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my Lord. Then said he, These are the two anointed ones that stand by the Lord of the whole earth. This was answered in Nupu Revelations Interpretation, chapter 10 and 11, 1 through 12, pages 7 through 11, by this writer, March 1st through 3rd, 2022 AD. I was given a reed like a measuring rod and was told, Go and measure the temple of God and the altar with its worshippers. Explanation. This is speaking about the future building site of true culture society. But exclude the outer court. Do not measure because it has been given to the Gentiles. They will trample on the holy city for 42 months in part. Explanation. 42 months is 3.5 years. Thursday, August the 25th, 2021 to February 5th, 2025 is 3 years and 5 months and 11 days. And I will appoint my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth. Explanation. This is the same answer for verse 2. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 lampstands, and they stand before the Lord of the earth. If anyone tries to harm them, fire comes from their mouths and devours their enemies. This is how anyone who wants to harm them must die. They have power to shut up the heavens so that it will not rain during the time they are prophesying, and they have power to turn the waters into blood and to strike the earth with every kind of plague as often as they want. Explanation. The 2 witnesses' lampstands are Mars, the first beast, trumpet, or angel. The second witness lampstand, the second beast, is the sun, referred to Nupu Revelation Interpretation, chapter 8 and 9, pages 7 through 8, verses 9 and 11. Okay, once again, we back to the lampstand and menorah, which I told you was symbolic. This is the first beast, Mars, and then we have the sun. Here's the gematria. The 2 witnesses comes out to 62. 1 planet and star. All right, so we know that Mars is a planet and the sun is a star. Explanation. This has been explained how 4 orbs having the ability to affect Earth's atmosphere to cause these changes, referred to Nupu Revelation Interpretations, chapter 6 and 7, pages 21 through 23. Let's go to the to lulu.com, type my name in and get that book. That goes into it deeper. Now when they have finished their testimony, the beast that comes up from the abyss will attack them and overpower and kill them. Explanation. Listen to reason. Then the question 2, what happens to organized religions? At the advent of Nupu and Nun, they might be very upset and disturbed, as in the past, as concerning philosophers and reformers. Some members of organized religion might seek to harm the new order of persons and things, but by such thoughts they would do more positive help than negative harm, because nothing can stop Almighty Nature from taking its proper course. What members of organized religion should ask themselves, are we going to perish with the past and our dying spiritual science religion during Armageddon, or survive with the future and the living ethereal science noon? The pitfalls and shortcomings of religion indeed, together with time for a change for the betterment, for the better, are the factors that bring on Armageddon, the war of judgment. Many religionists will see the light of right and reason at least, and others will perish with their outdated beliefs and antiquated superstitions. Let it be remembered, always let it be known. Introduction to the Nature Book 2, page 235. This beast is Osiris, the underworld god of the dead. Osiris is ghost god of all religions and the creator of the Caucasian race, with the help of the moon god Tahuti and the earth god Geb 6,000 years ago. Referred to Introduction to the Nature books. Listen to reason. It is written in the Caucasian Bible, the King James Version, let us make man in our image after our likeness. The first question is, who is the us? Instead of being the brain new gods, it is the spirit gods this time. And this time it is Caucasian man, whereas before it was original man, the Phoenician, Indian, and Mongolian races. The second question is, what spirit gods? Answer is the moon god Sin, also called Mercury and Hermes, the earth god Dagon, also called Dagon, and Sobek, the crocodile. The crocodile god is one form of the biblical Leviathan. Then comes the underworld god Pluto, also called Dis, and Osiris. These are the three spirit gods who agreed to make the Caucasian race, let it be remembered, always let it be known. Nature Book 2, page 126. Listen to reason. Spirit beings, spirit gods, together with their spirit goddesses, produce offspring and helpers, are the results of brain concentration done by the universe orbs, such as the sun, earth, and moon, and are thereby reasoned minds. The brains of these universe bodies are located in their centers. Of course, the god sun, the goddess earth, and the god moon are too huge to do things that must be indeed done by beings much less in size, and this is where the spirit beings come in. I just stopped it right there. Nature Book 1, page 169 in part. Remember too, we all now exist at rock bottom of the smack circle of order and the end of evolution, but creation of the Caucasian race was 6,000 years ago. Pantheism, including Sabaism, was the ruling spiritual science at the beginning of the moon cycle, which marked cycle-wise the beginning of the Caucasian race. Be informed too that the Caucasian Bible, called the Holy Bible, is the spiritual and religious history of the Caucasian race. Let it be remembered, always let it be known. Nature Book 1, page 169 in part. The two witnesses are not just the orbs, but the spirits that they control on earth, who in turn, the spirits control the two humans. These spirits are the arms and legs of the orbs, because as you can see, they are too huge to do these things themselves. Listen to reason. Spirit beings, spirit gods, together with their spirit goddess, produce offspring and helpers, are the results of brain concentration done by universe orbs, such as the sun, earth, and moon, and they are thereby reasoned minds. The brains of these universe bodies are located in their centers. Of course, the god sun, the goddess earth, and the god moon are too huge to do things themselves. This must indeed be done by beings much less in size. Okay, this is where the spirit being comes in at and control the human beings. All right, it says, and this is where indeed individual spirit beings come in. See the topics: the spirits of nature by reason and the gods of nature by reason, given in part 1 of this volume. Spirit beings existed before flesh and blood beings, and they help and still do help in the creation process whenever and also whenever necessary. But their main duties and objectives are programming and controlling persons, places, and things. The only living beings who exist in the top half of the smack circle of order during the time the top half exists are eternal nature, the world soul, Nupu, nine reason, the head of nine ether and nine ether in general, the universes, the universe orbs, spirit gods and goddesses, original vegetation, flesh and blood gods and goddesses, and original bacteria. Let it be remembered, always let it be known. Now, when they have finished their testimony, the beast that comes up from the abyss will attack them and overpower and kill them. Their bodies will line the public square of the great city, which is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, where also their Lord was crucified. For 3.5 days, some from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial. The inhabitants of the earth will gloat over them and will celebrate by sending each other gifts, because these two prophets had tormented those who live on the earth. But after the 3.5 days, and the breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and terror struck those who saw them. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven saying, "Come up here." And they went up to heaven in a cloud while their enemies looked on. So in this case, these 3 days is symbolic of the 42 months, which is 3.5 years, which we already down to like 2 years. I think it may be a month that's left to February 5th, 2025. The point is this: the two humans, or any human for that matter, after we expire, there's no returning life to that body. The death of the two human witnesses isn't a miracle, nor was it a murder. This is symbolic. The miracle will be the message that will continue that they spoke. The fact that the two witnesses' message will be so powerful, it will cause Ghost God to attack them, and that message is noon science. Zechariah chapter 6, 1 through 7. The four chariots. And I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of brass. In the first chariot were red horses, and the second chariot black horses, and in the third chariot white horses, and in the fourth chariot grizzled and bay horses. Then I answered and said unto the angel, unto the angel that talked with me, this is Tahuti, what are these, my Lord? And the angel said unto me, these are the 4 spirits of the heavens, which go forth from standing before the Lord of all the earth. The black horses which are therein go forth into the north country, and the white go forth after them. And the grizzled go forth toward the south country, and the bay went forth and sought to go, that they might walk to and fro through the earth. And he said, get you hence, walk to and fro through the earth. So they walk to and fro through the earth. Listen to the Orbs Eniad Passiget Sound Right Reasoning. This has been answered by this writer in the book Nupu Revelation and Interpretation, chapter 6 and 7, verses 6, chapter 6, verse 4, 5, and 8. However, the 4 orbs are listed in a different order. The black horse is Satuna Saturn, whose color is black. This is Satuna Saturn. The color of Saturn. The color of Saturn is black. This color is caused by the absence of light. The rays emitted by Saturn are a violet color. Black is a common color for agitated persons and is also known for its protective properties. There are negative qualities also, like resistance, obstruction, opposition, and enmity. Excess of black is a cause of depression. The compatible items for treating Saturn-related problems are generally of black color, like black sesame, urate, shilajit, azokarite, comfrey root, chifala, herbs including malaki, bibhitaki, and haritaki, iron, etc. The compatible gemstone is blue sapphire, which is highly risky to recommend because of the fiery nature of the planet, and also because Saturn is a sun. Alright. The white horse is the sun, whose light is actually white, as proven by scientists. Former NASA astronaut image reveals sun is white, not yellow. Alright, this is September 14, 2022. So once again, the deception of things in our everyday life in reality is deceptive. So when you look out into the sky and movies and everything else, you will see that they will say the sun is yellow, but outside of the sun is yellow, even in this right picture, and you can see the whiteness sometimes. Then it look like it's yellow and red in other areas, but outside of the earth, the sun's light is white. The color of the sun is white. The sun emits all colors of the rainbow more or less evenly, and in physics we call this combination white. That is why we can see so many different colors in the natural world under the illumination of sunlight. And the grizzled go forth toward the south country. The grizzled horse is the moon, white or gray horses, because the moon looks white at sometimes and then gray at other times. Here it looks like it's whitish gray and a little bit of dark as well. Alright, here's images of grizzled horses. See? Some is dark, some white, some got a little bit of both in it. So now y'all understand that the 4 horses are not horses at all. They're orbs, they're planets. The horse colors of mention. See? Grisleld in Zechariah 6, chapter 6, verse 3 and 6. See? And in the third chariot, white horses. See? Grizzle is white. You go down here to grizzle. It's found in the thesaurus. They use grizzle these days, related to gristlet. So grizzle is the old, gristling is the old way. They changed it from gristle to grizzle. But look what it says, see? Partly gray or streaked with gray, a grizzled beard, having furrowed hair streaked or tipped with gray. Grizzle is the modern word for gristlet. Verse 7, and the bay went forth, end quote. The bay horse is Mars, which is red. Alright, this is a bay horse. Bay is a hair coat color of horses characterized by reddish brown or brown body color with a black point coloration of the mane, tail, ear edges, and lower legs. Bay is one of the most common coat colors in many horse breeds. The black areas of a bay horse hair coat are called black points, and without them a horse is not a bay horse. Variant, bright reddish brown to dark shade. See? It's Marsha. Marsha. Here's the Hebrew word and definition for bay. Strong's, right? 554, amatz, meaning strong. Bay, probably from amatz, a strong color. See, red. Others fleet, bay. According to Jameson Fawcett Brown Bible commentary, bay rather the fleet or strong as the red are not otherwise mentioned. The epithet fleet as the Hebrew for bay ought to be translated in Zechariah 6:3 seems to apply to all four here, especially to the red. Their office is to complete hereafter the work already in part executed by the previous three who have still Babylon, Medo, Persia, and Gracio Macedonia, namely to punish finally the last great foe of Israel, the final form assumed by the fourth world kingdom Rome, which is to continue down to the second advent of Christ. Hence they walk to and fro through the earth, counter working Satan's going to and fro on the earth. Job 1:7, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8 and verse 9, 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1. In connection with the last awful development of the fourth world kingdom, their fleetness is needed to counteract his restless activity. Their red color implies the final great carnage. Ezekiel 39 1 through 29, Revelation 19:17, Revelation 18 and Revelation chapter 19 verses 17, 18, 21. And look at the word carnage. If you look at the movie Carnage, which was the second movie after Venom, with Venom Part 2, Venom is black, which represents Saturn, and Carnage is representing Mars. Okay? But they are altering and doing these things in front of us, which I told you is all star and planet worship and honoring. All right? And so everybody's still celebrating them in different formats because down in the bottom half of existence, deception is the rule. So people, places, beings, spirit beings, extraterrestrials, whatever, all utilize deception in one form or another. All right, let's continue. Matthew Pooh's commentary says, the bay went forth from the place where the prophet saw them at first standing as at the starting place, and sought to go, either asking commission or waited for it, that they may walk to and fro through the earth. They had a larger commission, say some the whole earth, or a particular commission to keep their rounds in the land of Judea and to take care of their affairs for the comfort of that people. Notice that this writer underlined how we, the orbs, as these horses are going back and forth walking. This is why we, the Ennead, the Pesijit, named this writer 11/24/2022 what we, the orb, decided to at his next upgrade. Alright, this is coming from the video I did, the book of Daniel chapter 7. It says, by Zane Koch Ve Lechet Nupu, Uyu U Tar Kinu Unu Nupu, Noon Ethiopian year 60, Nupu embryo year 96, 11/24/2022, Marsha Mars hour, 1:56 p.m. to 2:48 p.m., 22 degrees, Gemini the flesh, 6 minutes and 34 seconds. Listen to Sound Right Reason. Via us, the 9 Enneads of original creation, this writer Uyu Tar Kinu Unu Nupu has been given a new name by us, the 9 Ennead, because he, Tar, has earned it, and also because it's time to show what Noon the science can do. Now here is the meaning of Tar's 2 new names for the cycle. Zain means 7 in Hebrew, and it's in reference to us, 7 orbs, planets that aligned in February 5th, 1962 AD. Koch Ve Lechet is Hebrew for what? Planets, meaning walking or going star, because of our rotation around our husband and the sun. This was done as a sign to those who are intelligent and can recognize sound right reason, and that we, the 9 Ennead Pesijit, are indeed walking around mentally inside this writer and protecting him and giving you all the missing pieces to religion. Remember this well. All right, so this is why they guided me to do this. See? And we're talking about when you go into the definition of Bay, when you start getting into, when you get into the beginning of what is this, Zechariah, right? It tells them, let me go back up here where it states that at. See? And the angel said unto me, these are the four spirits of the heavens. And we know this, remember that the orbs are in the heavens. They are in the sky. Okay? Which would, look, go forth from standing before the Lord, right? Which therein go forth into the north country. The white goes after them. The gristle go forth toward the south country. The bay went forth. See this, that they might walk to and fro through the earth. But we know the orbs can't walk on the planet. They too big, but they are incarnated in people. And this is why in the nature book said King Amenubi, who was Afro 6,000 years ago, when the priests and nuns got tricked by the Tibetan monks who put Spanish fly in their drinks and caused them to become sexual and break the laws of the sun god, which is Heru, aka Jupiter, and Saturn. They got kicked out of the Gulf of Aden and relocated to the Aegean Islands, and this is where the Caucasian race was birthed from their Hindu parents. So it said it was to go back and forth, to walk back and forth. And this is what my name means. This is when the orbs gave me my name last month on the 22nd. And that's what, again, Kotzvei Lechet is Hebrew for what? Planets, meaning walking or going star, which means that I have these 9 orbs mentally incarnated into my mind by way of sound right reason, and they are the ones who will help me put together this information. All right? Truman the Cosmic Peace in martial wartime. Stay tuned for part 2.